what I would credit most in the Eastern Orthodox Church for opening my eyes was really going to confession. And going to confession made me realize how much I was blinded by my pride. I had not really the biggest, if you take nothing, anybody listening who's considering East or whatever, if you take nothing away from this, take this. And that is that the question of the Roman primacy is not an objective question in the sense that we are inclined by original sin against the Roman primacy. It's like talking about God to an atheist. Like it's not an objective thing that, we can just, it's not like studying frogs, like determining a scientific question. It has a radical impact on your life. Right. This question, answering this question. So we're original sin inclines us away from God. It inclines us away from the Roman primacy, because ultimately the Roman primacy checks our pride. It's the buck stops at some point. When you're Orthodox, what you can do is you can basically just become a scholar, and you read all the fathers, and you just kind of make your own decision about all these disputed questions. Is contraception wrong or is it not? Well, you can just read all the fathers and kind of come to your own conclusion. And ultimately you are in you're not safe from your pride. I guess that's what I found out, is I'm not safe from my pride here. I'm prideful. I'm consumed with myself. And in Eastern Orthodoxy, I have to sort of continue to be a Protestant in some ways. I have to continue to make up my own mind about all these little things that the church has already worked out such a great body of doctrine and of faith and morals. And so many of these questions that the Eastern Orthodox are arguing over, we've already worked out these things because there's a magisterium, there's an ecumenical church, there's a universal binding authority. So that was really what hit me, was that it's not a question that's you can just be absolutely objective about, because you're inclined against it. You don't want the papacy to be real. You want to live in your own world and your own bubble and just go to decide your own faith and your own doctrine. And that's what you can do as an Eastern Orthodox. And that's what I realized. That was the big turning point for me.
It's sort of like a bunch of kids or teenagers and there's no dad.
Yeah.
And they're all in the same family. And I mean, I'd love for all to be one, but people are saying in the chat now, well, look at Rome, it's such a mess. Look at Catholicism. Are you saying that all the bishops in the United States are all of one faith and all in one agreement? Obviously not. That's obviously not the case. But the reason for that is because Rome is not doing her job. Rome is failing to fulfill her mission and her vocation. The reason I'm a Catholic is not because the United States Bishops' Conference has its house in order. Obviously, it doesn't. Watch this show every single week. We talk about this. We talk about the problems. The reason that I'm a Roman Catholic is that I believe that the Roman Catholic Church has the tools and the ability to resolve all of these things. Has it been resolved right now? No. It's more of a mess in 2020 than it was in 2019. But I believe that the tools, which is the keys, the Petrine office, is the means by which we will get out of this mess. We can't trash the Petrine office and then get out of this mess. That's the only way out. That's the only solution, is the Petrine office. I look at the Eastern Orthodox, they don't have an answer for how to fix their problems or the Roman problems. Rome does have an answer. She's just not using it. In fact, she's working, in my opinion, working against the common good, against unity, against truth right now. And that's happened before in history.
They break from Rome, but then they can't figure out how to have a church government. Right. Protestants break away, but they can't figure out how to, they haven't broken into just the Protestant church or the Eastern Orthodox one church. It hasn't just, okay, well, here's the alternative. There is no alternative to Rome. They haven't figured out how to, it's just a negation, And so that's what it comes down to. And that I can't bind my soul and diet and face judgment based on negation. Right. I need a positive truth to hold on to. And yeah, that's the long and short of it. Rome is in crisis, of course. Yeah, we all agree on that. but you can't deny that the power is there.
Right.
That's what are you going to do? You're going to say the Pope doesn't have the power to do what Pius X did? No, because Pius X did it.
I don't see any way for the Eastern Orthodox to issue a syllabus of errors, a list of anathemas, a creed, anything. They haven't produced anything since 787. You know, their liturgy is beautiful. You know, even their Vespers, all these things they do well, and I think that's a grace from the Holy Ghost that's kind of kept a certain vitality, some kind of life. You know, their liturgy, their sacramental life. But the other elements that are juridical, that seems to be completely withered and gone. Nothing there. Yeah. So I mean, it seems to me that orthodoxy globally, and I guess, I mean, to be honest, we could also say this about Catholicism, that we seem to be in a perhaps a decreasing situation. I don't really know. I mean, I know like in Europe, it's dying so fast. You know, numbers are looking really bad. Even in America, numbers, when you look at nuns, monks, priests, marriages, infant baptisms, all these things, we're in a decline. So I don't say it's an argument for sure, but it just seems that the powerful tools that the East once has, that bat belt, you know, that they wore and were able to do things, they've lost a substantial amount of their tools, and they can't really do anything. You know, they look like they are inwardly divided. They aren't doing evangelization or missionary work. And in their homelands, they've decreased and dried up. Look at the ecumenical patriarch of Constantinople. What is he over? Asia Minor is gone. Constantinople is gone. These places are complete. Even in Egypt, God bless them, the Coptics have been strong against the Mohammedans, but Islam is overrun. The Middle East, Palestine, Syria, all these places. Russia is really their last hope. And although they have made a recovery since communism, still you want to talk about infiltration. The Russian church was infiltrated. KGB bishops throughout. So, I see in the comments right now, Orthodox people are in here right now, and they're talking trash. But look at your own house, guys. I know we have a big mess over in Rome right now. The Vatican's a mess. We got sexual scandals, financial scandals. But when I look over at Eastern Orthodoxy, that house is on fire. It'd be good to do a show, Timothy, where we go through, say, the Filioque, and we go through Palamas, and we go through Immaculate Conception and Original Sin, and maybe Chrismation, whether it confers a character. These are the controversies between the Eastern Orthodox Schismatic Church and the Roman Catholic Church. So maybe we can do that in the future.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into each one of those. A lot of history, a lot of complexity, and a lot of different questions. So yeah, that's a whole nother show, even just one of those. So we just kind of focused on the sort of the ecclesiastical dogmatic objectivity of the situation. But all of these, there's plenty of ink has been spilled on all of these questions for years. So definitely worth another show.